Even before Return of the Jedi premieres next week, people are wondering if there will ever be another installment in the Star Wars saga. Our man in Hollywood, Jim Brown, concludes his week-long series on the new movie with just that question.
There will be lines around the block here next Wednesday when Return of the Jedi opens. The overwhelming success of the Star Wars saga has meant almost $1 billion at the box office. 5 days before its opening, in Hollywood, one diehard fan has already made his claim to be first in line.
Star Wars has been going on for 6 years, and there's answers that I want to find out. You know, is Darth Luke's father and all these other things, and it's fun. It's mainly, I have a lot of people coming down. It's like a reunion of sorts.
George Lucas financed Return of the Jedi from his own money, just about writing out a personal check for $30 million. But despite what looks like a sure thing, longtime Lucas associate Return of the Jedi producer Howard Kazanjian admits to a bad case of nerves.
I think it's been a satisfying time for myself and George. It's been a very difficult time. Very long hours, very trying hours, and yet not knowing that the final product will be a success or be accepted by the fans out there and the audience throughout the world. We have a great picture here, a very good picture, and we're all proud of this picture. But you're not sure until it comes out. You're never sure. You may not be right. You may have made a mistake.
Kazanjian and Lucas may be the only doubters around. Jedi is review-proof. Only Star Wars fans need to be appeased. To get this last part of the trilogy the way Lucas wanted, intense discussion took place at Lucasfilm with screenwriter Lawrence Kasdan, who also wrote Empire Strikes Back and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
So I am just talking.
It was a collaboration of equals, only some were more equal than others.
You always sort of know that you're serving George, and you wouldn't enter it otherwise. You know that you're not going to make a Star Wars picture, your picture, particularly as you would maybe, as I would maybe in my own picture. So what you're doing is you're serving a larger plan. You have to enter into that plan with some kind of enthusiasm, which I do. And George is always sort of the guide through this galaxy.
Again, without giving away the plot, for me, the most emotional part on the human level occurred toward the end, involving Luke. This was deliberate. This was, is it fair to say this is really Luke's picture?
I think so. This is Luke's trilogy, these 3 pictures. And it's a tribute to Harrison and to Carrie that the other characters have held up very strongly throughout. And in some ways, their presence may have been stronger in Empire. But what needs to be resolved in Jedi is Luke's story, his relationship with Darth Vader, and his destiny.
Even before this final chapter is in theaters, the question of the rest of the saga is being raised. There are 6 more Star Wars chapters in outline form. What about those early colonial wars? Or perhaps future Jedi babies with Luke as the elder statesman Obi-Wan is today. The fans say yes.
I'd like to see more Star Wars movies because, well, I just like all the stories, and I'd like to hear a lot more about these different ones. I want to see more of the adventure, and I want to see more because it's more fun.
I'd like to see more of his creative things, like his animals and everything.
I hope they make some ones that start out from the beginning.
I hope they make more Star Wars movies, but I think it's really up to the guy who makes it.
And those closest to Lucas think we've seen the last of Star Wars, for a while at least.
After this film, George wants to take a break, the first time in 10 years. When you really think about it, I don't know that George wants to do 9 Star Wars films. Let's see how this one does. Maybe a month from now when the movie's doing very well and people are cheering and the press is favorable, maybe George will say, gee, let's do another one. Let's get going. Let's start writing.
The actors say they won't miss the galaxy. Harrison Ford could be speaking for his co-stars.
I'm glad I did all three of them. I'm glad that it brought itself to a natural conclusion. But 3 is enough for me. I was glad to see that costume for the last time.
Still, in the future, machines may have the last word. For today, Jim Brown, NBC News, Hollywood.